In January this year, 2024, I reported on fresh charges against Warren McCorriston for the alleged kidnapping of a 16-year-old girl after she got off a bus at Gateshead. Then in March, I provided an update after his second committal hearing at Newcastle Court on the 13th of March 2024, when more details were revealed about this incident, or alleged incident, I should say. I'll put links to those videos in the description below, but in this video I will discuss the latest hearing that occurred on Wednesday, the 21st of August 2024. There were also hearings on the 8th of May, 3rd of July and the 31st of July. However, I found there were no media reports on these hearings and expect they were most probably just procedural in nature and had little more information to add that would have been worthwhile reporting. But this latest hearing was reported on by both TV and newspaper media. I noted the reports included at least one factual error and even what appeared to be contradictions. So I will discuss those when I come to them. The first report I will cover is that given by Newcastle's local NBN television news on the 21st of August 2024. If you have listened closely to what I have discussed so far in this video, then a factual error in NBN's report may be obvious to you.
44 years on from his alleged crimes, today Warren McCorriston learned he's heading to trial. Now 63, the former tourism executive faced court over the alleged abduction of a then 16-year-old girl. McCorriston is facing 3 charges, including forcible abduction with intent to carnally know, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and detaining for advantage and causing injury. He's accused of committing the offences at Glendale in 1980. McCorriston was charged in January this year by detectives from Strikeforce Arapaima, which was set up in 2019 to investigate the suspected murders of Lake Macquarie teens Robin Hickey, Amanda Robinson and Gordana Katevsky. No one has been charged in relation to their disappearances or deaths. Today, McCorriston was committed for trial in the District Court. The case will be heard again in October. Tyson Cottrell, NBN News.
Okay, so if you were listening, you might have figured out the factual error was he said the offence or alleged offences were committed at Glendale when every other report says Gateshead and nowhere else has it said Glendale. I assume confusion might have come from Glendale and Gateshead are both suburbs in the Newcastle area. They're not close to each other, but I guess they both start with the letter G. They both got 8 letters. And I suppose they've got 2 syllables, which could be words by themselves. But anyway, yeah. So a little confusion there. So it does raise the point that the media is not always accurate. And it's probably something I'm a little concerned I haven't made clear in other videos I've made, because I do base a lot of the information on what has been reported in the media. But I do try and take that into account. If there are multiple media reports on the same item of news, I will look through those, compare them, and I'll even look at other sources apart from the media at times just to cover any contradictions, or even if there aren't contradictions, because I have observed it does seem the media will kind of copy each other sometimes, or they'll take old reports and paraphrase what's in the old reports, and sometimes it gets reinterpreted in a slightly different way and could mean something different to what was originally intended. But anyway, I think you might get the point what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I kind of use my instincts as well to go, yeah, that doesn't sound right, or yeah, or could be right, could be wrong. But if you've seen my videos, you probably know that already. Anyway, I shall move on because you want to know more about Warren McCorriston's latest hearing. So anyway, the next day after the NBN news report, that being the 22nd of August 2024, Nick Bealby reported in the Newcastle Herald, and it begins with the headline, "Accused Gateshead Kidnapper to face trial." So we have Gateshead there, not Glendale. And he says, Warren John McCorriston, the former Queensland tourism executive and resort manager, accused of abducting a teenage girl at Lake Macquarie 4 decades ago, will face a trial in the district court. And the NBN News report did say that. The 63-year-old appeared in Newcastle local court via video link from Shortland Correctional Centre yesterday, when Magistrate Robert Stone set an arraignment date of September 19. Now, there are a few things I want to elaborate on in that paragraph. Now, it said Shortland Correctional Centre. Now, the first thing I thought when I saw it say Shortland is, well, Shortland's a suburb of Newcastle, and I was thinking, I don't know of any correctional centre at Shortland, so I looked it up, and what it is a, what do you call it, maximum security jail at Cessnock. Now, there is a Cessnock Correctional Centre, and I was thinking, well, maybe that's it, but I thought it was a low-level prison. But apparently what it is, it's a maximum security jail. It's called the Shortland Correctional Centre, but it's kind of attached to Cessnock Correctional Centre. So, a bit confusing there. Might have been clearer if they called it Cessnock Jail. But anyway, yeah, Cessnock being another town in the Lower Hunter near Newcastle. Now, the second thing is, it says an arraignment date has been set. The arraignment is when he will plead, he'll have the charges put to him formally in court, and he will be asked to either plead guilty or not guilty. And if he pleads not guilty to any of the charges, then they'll need to set a trial, and that will be heard in court. And the final point I'll make on that paragraph is, it says the date of that arraignment is September 19, which contradicts what was in the NBN News report, which said his next court appearance would be in October. Yeah, so bit of a contradiction there. But I expect by the time I edit this video and upload it, I will have a better idea of when his next court appearance is. I expect it will be September 19, as the newspaper has listed a specific date, but I'll leave it there for the moment. So the Newcastle Herald report continues. "I understand, Your Honour," McCorriston said after the path forward was explained to him. He has been charged over the cold case alleged abduction and assault of a 16-year-old girl at Gateshead in 1980, and the NBN news report agreed with that 1980 date. He is facing 1 count each of forcible abduction to carnally know, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and detaining for advantage and causing serious injury to a victim. Now, all three of those charges are pretty much exactly what was in the NBN news report, so those charges seem to be confirmed. McCorriston did not enter any pleas yesterday, but the committal for trial means he will deny the charges when he is arraigned in the higher court next month. Now, there are some aspects of that paragraph which the Daily Telegraph seem to contradict in what seems to be a web-only article about Warren McCorriston's court appearance. And the Daily Telegraph article says, "A man who came to the attention of detectives investigating the disappearances and suspected murders of 2 girls more than 40 years ago has pleaded not guilty to an alleged kidnapping of another teenager in 1980. So here it says he pleaded not guilty, but the Newcastle Herald article says he did not enter any pleas yesterday. I suspect it might just be different interpretations of what actually happened in the court. So he did not plea, but it seems from the Newcastle Herald article he must have indicated that he was going to plead not guilty when he is arraigned. So perhaps the Daily Telegraph reporter just interpreted that as he pleaded guilty, but technically the pleading of guilty or not guilty doesn't occur till the actual arraignment. So, well, that's my understanding anyway. If we now go back to the article, in the Newcastle Herald, I'll just summarise the last 2 paragraphs, as it's basically just saying that he was arrested in January, which was related to Strike Force Aaron Paymer's investigations that started in 2019 that were looking into the disappearances of Robin Hickey and Amanda Robinson in 1979 and Gordana Katevsky in 1994, and that no one's been charged in relation to any of those disappearances. And these new charges against Warren McCorriston were just in relation to other information that came to them while they were doing these investigations. But there's no confirmation that Warren McCorriston was involved, though it seems he is a suspect in those disappearances. Yes, so that summarises that. And I'll just briefly summarise what we've covered in this video. So, we have that it seems Warren McCorriston is going to face trial in relation to the charges from January that relate to the kidnapping or alleged kidnapping of a 16-year-old girl in Gateshead in 1980. And there are only 3 charges that he will be facing, though they're fairly serious. Forcible abduction to carnally know, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and detaining for advantage and causing serious injury. And it does appear he will plead not guilty at his formal arraignment hearing, which appears will be on September the 19th, though maybe it's October. There's that bit of contradiction between NBN and the Newcastle Herald as to when he will next appear in court, and that will lead to a trial after his arraignment. Perhaps the October date might be when his trial's expected to begin, I don't know. Another little interesting point I realised is I believe Warren McCorriston was eligible for parole from his previous convictions in July. So if he was appearing from Shortland Correctional Centre by video link, then obviously he's still behind bars, so to speak. And I suspect he probably didn't apply for parole because he probably wouldn't have got it, and even if he did, these charges that he is accused of for the alleged 1980 abduction, I'd say one of them alone is probably serious enough to have him detained until trial anyway. So either he applied and it was denied, or he was probably smart enough to know not worth applying, and that's why he's still behind bars. Anyway, I'll finish up there. I hope you found this video interesting and informative, and if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe and click on the bell to be notified when I upload those future videos. And if you'd like to support me in making those videos, you can do so at Patreon. I'm David A. Elliott. Have a good one and see you around like a ristle.